There's only one way I could start this review. Avengers Assemble. Hi everyone, it's me, Ben Maiden, and welcome to Entertainment Zone, and I am here for the review I've been waiting to do for a long time. Yes, it is of course my review for the Avengers, or as it's known over here in the UK, Avengers Assemble. The film came out today here in the UK, Thursday the 26th of April, and I've just got back from town where I went to see it, and needless to say, I was not disappointed at all. I was very impressed. So let's get straight into things, shall we? When Joss Whedon was first announced as the director of the Avengers, I'm not going to lie, I had my confidence in the movie knocked a bit, because Joss can be very hit and miss, and you know, I've enjoyed his run of X-Men comics, Astonishing X-Men, but some of his film and TV work, while some were good, you know, there was some I wasn't so keen on. However, he has not disappointed in the Avengers at all. You know, he knows how to do a good ensemble piece. That's Joss Whedon's strength, and he's really brought that to the table in the Avengers. You know, for anyone who's been living under a rock, the Avengers sees some of Marvel's biggest superheroes joining together to stop an almighty threat. The team consists of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Hawkeye and Black Widow, and is led by Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson. And what's great about this is that Joss really does know how to work an ensemble piece, and every character really had their time to shine. You know, I read some people's thoughts before the movie saying, oh, I'm worried this is going to be, you know, Robert Downey Jr. featuring the Avengers. But it isn't. Everybody gets a good amount of screen time. Everybody gets their own moment, the big moment, and the team gels well. You know, it gels really well. You know, it was a great cast. Everyone put their all into it, and you know, because you might thought, oh, some people might want to have the limelight, you know, all being big movie stars, but they worked really well together, and there was a definite chemistry between all the Avengers, especially the big three, Cap, Iron Man and Thor. You know, all the actors did a great job in their respective movies, and have done so in the Avengers. I should also probably talk about Mark Ruffalo, who's taken over from Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. Well, again, I wasn't really sure about Ruffalo, because I thought, wow, Ed Norton has brought a whole new perspective to Banner and done a really good job. But you know, I'm going to have to review with my agree with my fellow critics. God, I can't get my words out. I'm so excited about this film. I'm going to have to agree with my fellow critics that Ruffalo could actually be one of the best Bruce Banners ever. He did a real good job of it. And he also motion captured the Hulk, and the Hulk looked great in the movie. You know, the Ang Lee movie, it looks terrible. It looked a lot better in The Incredible Hulk, and in Avengers, it looks better again. It is a big action piece. There's a lot of action scenes, and there's a lot going on, lots of explosions and fights. But the story doesn't lack because of that. There's a good story to it. You know, Joss is good at having dialogue scenes, and you know, and having all these different characters working together, and it's great. And you know, for example, the Black Widow and Hawkeye, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, they're just going to be side characters pushed to the side. But they really got their backstory and moments to shine too. You know, so there was depth to their characters. Bruce Banner and Tony Stark, they have great chemistry together. They work really well. And, you know, seeing the rivalry between Cap and Iron Man, and also Iron Man and Thor, was great. And the fight scene between Iron Man and Thor, I'm not going to tell you how that ends, but that was epic. Really, really cool. And I should also give props to the non-superhero characters, and the actors who portrayed them. Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I think Loki might have just become one of my favourite Marvel villains ever. He was cool in Thor, but he really ups the game in Avengers, and it was just done brilliantly. Clark Gregg as Coulson, he's great as ever. We all love him. And Kobe Smulders did a great job as Maria Hill, actually. Even Maria gets her time to shine in this movie. So really, really cool. Visually, it looked amazing. And, when there's a scene where the shield helicarrier, the big, massive shield helicarrier comes up into the sky, and I was just grinning like the Cheshire Cat, because I'm a big comic book geek, and seeing the big shield helicarrier, I was like, whoa. And the fight scenes were incredible, especially against Loki and his alien army. I won't say just yet who that army is. We'll discuss spoilers later on. I'll warn you when we get into them. But yeah, the story was solid, the action was solid. I should talk about the 3D, because I did go and see it in 3D. Now, I saw the trailer in 3D when I went to see Titanic 3D, and I thought, wow, the 3D actually looks decent in this. And it really does, it really does. It's probably one of Marvel's best conversions yet, especially over, Thor and Captain America. This was really good conversion 3D. There was depth to it. And sometimes there were like coming out of the screen moments, and when the aliens are flying around in the final fight scene, that just looked great in 3D, and so did Iron Man flying around in 3D for that matter. And I should also mention the film had a really good balance of action and all the superhero stuff going on, and comedy. There's a lot of funny moments that had my cinema audience really laughing, and I laughed out aloud quite a few times. So it was nice to have that balance there in terms of tone and mood. It was a fun movie, and I would go as far to say that this is probably set the bar for superhero movies. I don't tend to think of, for some reason, even though it is a superhero movie, I don't think of Dark Knight as a superhero movie for some reason, because it feels very different from all of the Marvel films. But in terms of the Marvel films and the typical superhero genre, Avengers has set the bar. It really has. It's probably one of my favourite superhero movies ever. And I will not hesitate to say that. Great action, great cast, great direction. It flew by for such a long film. Every character got the time to shine. Bring on all the character movie sequels, and bring on Avengers 2. I cannot wait. So definitely worth checking out. Now I'm going to just quickly talk about a few spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about the movie, if you haven't seen it yet, then stop watching now. But if you have seen the movie, do continue and see if you agree with my thoughts, and let me know in the comments. Okay, so spoiler warning now. Okay, let's go into the spoilers. Wow, again, the fight scene between Thor and Iron Man was great, and whilst there was no clear winner, it was really great to see that character interaction. And again with Thor and the Hulk, that was really cool too. And again, I just I put that under spoilers, so I didn't really reveal the outcome to the viewers, but it was cool. I think Stan Lee's cameo was so funny, and probably one of his best cameos yet. I would also have to say that the death of Coulson was really shocking. It's like, oh, he's the man. It's not going to be the same without him, but that's life, c'est la vie. But it's a very noble death, and without that death, the team would have never truly come together, and I really liked that a lot. The alien race was also revealed to be the Chitauri. I know that had been kept very hush-hush, but they were done really well. That for anyone who doesn't know watching that, the Chitauri were featured in the Ultimate Avengers cartoon movies, and were kind of like the Ultimate Universe of Marvel's take on the Skrulls, I believe. So they were really cool. The cameo by Harry Dean Stanton from Alien, that was a nice little surprise too. There were some real funny moments that I didn't want to go into before the spoilers, but you know, when Hulk punches Thor, oh, that was so funny. I really enjoyed that. And the banter between Pepper and Iron Man near the beginning of the movie, that was done really well too. I was a bit disappointed that Hawkeye was possessed for a good, you know, third or so of the movie. But you know, when he was brought free of the curse, you know, he really had his time to shine and made up for it. So you know, fair play, fair play. And let's talk, of course, about that scene mid-credits with a hooded figure. A lot of people are saying possibly Annihilus, possibly. But speaking to Thanos, you know, that Thanos had kind of masterminded the whole thing with the Chitauri and Loki. Wow, wow, wow. If we are getting the Infinity Gauntlet for Avengers 2, I am very, very happy. It's one of my favourite graphic novels, and Thanos is just a great Avengers villain. You know, I kind of wanted Ultron, but, you know, I'm very, very happy with these. Oh, and on the subject of, you know, the credits, the scene with Thanos mid-credits is the only other scene. There was no scene right at the very end of the credits. A lot of my audience waited, and it just ended, and the whole audience went, oh, you know, because we was expecting a second post-credit scene, but there is none. It's all about Thanos. So yes, overall I was very, very pleased with the movie. And like I said, it's one of the best superhero films I've ever seen, and I would give this film a full 5 stars out of 5. But I want to know what you think of the movie, so do let me know. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and let's get a good discussion going on about it. What was your favourite part of the movie? How did you find it? Did it live up to your expectations? Who's your favourite Avenger? Whatever. Let's get a good discussion going on about it. And you know, do you think perhaps the summer blockbusters of Spider-Man and The Dark Knight Rises can beat it? Also, remember to never miss an edition of Entertainment Zone. Be sure to subscribe and you'll get all the latest movie news and reviews. And don't forget to follow our Tumblr and keep checking it because we have loads of updates there. That's www.entertainmentzone.tumblr.com. So thanks for watching, thanks for assembling, and I will see you very, very soon.